Hey there. Today is day 70. I have forgotten my super thick Coke bottle glasses today that help disguise me a little bit, but I'll be frank with you. At this point, I think I could go waltzing in there with no glasses on whatsoever and a full goatee, and there's not a soul there that would recognize me. If anybody asks, I might even offer the fact that I had LASIK eye surgery this past week, and it vastly improved my eyesight. I don't know. No matter what I tell them, their power of discernment is not going to go haywire and tell them that I'm lying. So I'm almost done. After today, I've got 2 more weeks of church left, and I am officially finished. Day 84 is my last day in church. So, wish me luck. Still day 70. I'm on my way home from church now. Sacrament meeting today, of course, it's Father's Day, so all the little kids got up, the primary kids got up and sang, I'm so glad when Daddy comes home. That was kind of cute. I haven't seen that since 2001, I guess. In Sunday school, the Sunday school teacher talked about, and several people gave examples of how Mormons, they have this countenance about them. There's just, you can really tell when somebody is an active, faithful member of the church. People can tell because they have this countenance about them. I think what people are seeing is actually their naivete, but let them think it's their countenance. It's adorable.
Today's lesson is number 22, and it's entitled, Have you received his countenance? Have you received his image in your countenances? And so that's the title of the lesson. And are there any other thoughts, brothers and sisters, that you'd like to have before we move on? Yes.
Well, we just met a man who grew up in the Catholic Church. He's Italian, and he wanted to become a priest, but there was always something about the church that just didn't fulfill him or something. And he was in charge of the youth, and he was taking a trip with youth. They were walking somewhere in Rome or somewhere in Italy, probably not Rome, but he saw a placard of our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and he looked at it and it just touched his heart. He turned to the youth and he said, that is my church. So then for the next 6 days he went and knocked on the door. No one answered. He goes, I guess this church isn't around anymore. But it took him 2 years, then he finally ran into the missionaries, and they were teaching him English, and because he was a Catholic priest, they didn't feel like they could teach him the gospel, and he said, it took me 1 month to talk them into teaching me about their church. And then finally he was baptized, but he said that it was the Holy Ghost that, from the very beginning, he knew that this was the right church. And he said, and I was excommunicated from the Catholic Church with a smile, and now he's married and has a family, and is serving, in Italy as a district president or whatever. But it's a wonderful story.
What a story. I'll tell you, there's countless stories like this. What a great story. And that's the power that Alan was talking about. Who has number 2? Thank you.
It says Elder Theodore M. Burton, while serving as the assistant to the quorum of 12 apostles, he observed that those who followed Heavenly Father appear more like him. Quote, if we truly accept God in our lives and live in accordance to his commandments, God will work a mighty change in our appearance, and we will begin to appear more like our Heavenly Father, in whose image we have been created. Could it be this appearance we recognize when we meet men and women who are trying to live close to the Lord, end quote.
Interesting. There's not only a spiritual change apparently that can go on, there's also a bit of a physical transformation that can happen to us. I remember traveling many years ago for business, and myself and two other gentlemen went over to the Soviet Union before any of the changes happened. We had some meetings there, and we met a lot of people. We were all happened to be members of the church, the three of us that went. And on more than one occasion, we had people come to us and say that they could see, as they described it, I think they called it, as I recall it, like an aura. And they could see it, and it struck us. You know, we were just being normal. We certainly were doing what was right, and we were all faithful members of the church. But it was interesting that people actually commented to us on more than one occasion, different people, that they saw this. And maybe it was because they hadn't had any of that in that country and system for so long. But apparently there is a bit of a change. Has anybody else had any experiences with something like this?
Just a story I vaguely remember, and so anybody who can remember the details, jump in. But when they were trying to find property for the church in Jerusalem, they had a meeting with the elders of the country in Jerusalem, and they said, you know, there were some specifics about you can't have them proselyte, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. And so the church said, okay, we won't do that. And then one of the men said, well, he said, what are you going to do about their countenance? He said, what do you mean? He says, they glow. He says, what are you going to do about that? The light in their eyes. The light in their eyes.
Who has reading number 3? Because guess what, Sister Price?
Is that it?
It is. Let's hear this. Bingo, you are on the right page.
President James E. Faust, the first presidency, recounted an experience in which an associate of the church remarked concerning lightly countenance of Latter-day
Could you
Saint
stand up
students.
so I
Yeah, stand up and read as loud as you can. Don't start over, but
Okay. I recently recalled a historic meeting in Jerusalem about 17 years ago. It was regarding the lease for the land on which Brigham Young University's Jerusalem Center for Near Eastern Studies was later built. Before this lease could be signed, President Ezra Taft Benson and Elder Jeffrey R. Holland, then president of Brigham Young University, agreed with the Israeli government on behalf of the church and the university not to proselyte in Israel. You might wonder why we agreed not to proselyte. We were required to do so in order to get the building permit to build that magnificent building which stands in the historic city of Jerusalem. To our knowledge, the church and BYU have scrupulously and honorably kept that non-proselytizing commitment. After the lease had been signed, one of our friends insightfully remarked, "Oh, we know that you are not going to proselyte. But what are you going to do about the light that is in their eyes?" He was referring to our students who were studying in Israel.
so that's exactly right. Thank you for that. There is a physical as well as a spiritual aura, if you will, that happens with this powerful transformation that can happen.
In High Priest Group, we were talking about greatness and specific examples of people who showed greatness. One asshat brought up Orrin Porter Rockwell, a cold-blooded, murdering man who worked as a bodyguard for Joseph Smith.
Yes. Well, this gentleman was talking about his son. One of my favorite stories, probably to a lot of us, would be Orrin Porter Rockwell. This was a couple days before the death of the prophet. It was in the evening on the other side of the Iowa River, and things were pretty tense. The prophet wasn't sure if he was going to, keep going or what to do, or head back to town. His wife wanted him to come back. Brigham Young wanted him to keep going. And so that evening, he just kind of went around the campfire, asking some of the brothers, including his own brother, Hiram, what should I do? And then he came to his lifelong friend and bodyguard, Orrin Porter Rockwell. What do we need to say about him? He was rough, he was tough, he was right. And but like this man's son, what a tender heart. So Porter Rockwell says, Joseph, you make your bed, and I'll lie in it with you. I think that's greatness. The world doesn't know who Warren Porter Rockwell is. They could tell us about him. But that's what he said. He was probably dirty, probably had a beard, probably hungry, he probably said a few cuss words here and there. He probably even drank once in a while. That is greatness.
There you go. Well, I appreciate that. Let me tell you,
I bit my tongue on that. If somebody had mentioned Donald Trump as a great man and an example of greatness, I don't think I would have bit my tongue on that one. But Warren Porter Rockwell, yeah, I didn't say anything. I'm teaching High Priest Group next Sunday. Been kind of putting my lesson together. It should be fun. I'm going to leave them thinking. I'm going to leave them waiting for more, and they will be under the impression that the following week, on July 3rd, I'll be teaching the second part of my lesson. Oh, I'm teaching the second part of my lesson on the 3rd, but it's not going to be in High Priest Group. So, wish me luck. It's almost over.